The passive-aggressive poster. The countdown is on and no screaming allowed?
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello and welcome to a Cocktail Friday. People, we made it. It's the freaking weekend. It's July 10th, 2020, day 272 of Gotta Get on Ellen. And are you ready? 19 more days until my first public speaking event. I have to do a countdown, mostly for myself, to let myself know, yeah, it's time to get your butt in gear and really get prepared. I've got all the logistics worked out. I've got everything that I want to supply and, all of that kind of stuff. What I haven't really gotten down yet is the actual speech. I've been doing some practicing, but I'm kind of all over the place, and I really just have to get more organized. So 19 more days, I will be ready. I will be ready. If you are interested in coming to see me speak live on Long Beach Island on July 29th, it is a Wednesday, please go to my events page. There is a link for you to join me and help me celebrate this big event in my life. Tropical storm in the area today. Yes, looks like we're going to have, it's just going to be a nasty day. In fact, it's finally started raining. I've been waiting for the rain. I didn't really water the plants yesterday in the afternoon. I really should have, but I held off because it was supposed to start raining overnight. Got up this morning, 4 a.m., still no rain. I'm looking at the window now. Finally, we're getting some rain. It's supposed to be heavy downpours and tropical storm force winds throughout the day. Oh, fun. I love it. No, I don't love it. I do have to say, you know me, I'm hot and humid. Bring it on. Oh, man, it has been humid. Last couple of days here, way too hot to be outside. If it's too hot for me to be outside, it's too hot. I don't know, maybe it's an age thing. Maybe I just can't handle the humidity like I used to be able to. But yeah, I'm like, you know what? No, not going outside. My husband won't even entertain the idea of spending time outside when it gets to be this humid. We're talking about the weekend coming up, and he's like, well, it's going to be so humid, we're not going to want to be outside anyway. I'm like, we'll see about that. Yeah, it's been pretty bad. So batten down the hatches. We secured all of our belongings, whether it be high winds or flooding conditions. We're talking about some flash flooding because of the amount of rain that's going to come in a short period of time. So I hope you are prepared for the storm because it is here or rapidly approaching if you live in this area, of course. Some interesting tidbit that I saw on the news yesterday morning. In Japan, they have banned, are you ready? Screaming on roller coasters. No more screaming on roller coasters in an effort to combat COVID-19. What? I kind of thought that screaming on a roller coaster was not just one a given, but kind of involuntary. I don't think some people go on with the intention to scream, but I think people are screaming because they're scared. And it's just a natural inclination. So I don't know how. It's just kind of silly to even say such a thing. If you want them to wear masks, okay. It's a way for them, I guess, to try and social distance without social distancing. I don't know. No screaming, though. If you're going on a really scary roller coaster, Make sure you don't scream. Seems kind of silly to me. But what do I know? Maybe they should skip a car in the roller coaster. Maybe you don't fill it. Maybe you do every other row. They're still afraid, I guess, that the screaming will travel and potentially infect other people. I don't know. Maybe just not go. It seems all kind of silly to me. But that is what I heard yesterday. So keep that in mind. I'm not even sure what is open here, amusement park wise, because I don't do that anymore. Just don't go to amusement parks anymore. I know Disney World is opening this weekend. It might be today. We know that Disney's going to do everything that they're supposed to. I'm not sure about Six Flags around here. We have Great Adventure in our area, and they had decided they didn't want to be called Great Adventure anymore. They wanted to be called Six Flags like the rest of them. So I still call it Great Adventure because I am a rebel. Did you not know that about me? Yeah, I'm really not, but I try. Today's topic is, who is your favorite band artist of all time? Yeah, it is a tough one. A lot of people, that's a tough one. I would have to go with, I don't know. In my younger days, Journey was my first. So I'm very loyal to Journey. I feel like the loyalty in me has to say Journey is my all-time favorite band. With Steve Perry, of course. Without Steve Perry, it's just a cover band. Yes, that is my opinion. I will never go see Journey without Steve Perry. It's a farce. If I wanted to see somebody else sing Journey songs, I would go to the local bar and watch the cover bands. I spent a lot of time listening to Bon Jovi in my younger years as well. And then later in life, Train. Love my boys from Train. So I'm going to narrow it down to those three. Well, and then Madonna, too. Loved Madonna when she first came around. Loved her. Mandy says for me it's Queen. Yeah. I can't put them in the all-time favorite, though, just because I really just recently, and when I say discovered, I don't mean that I didn't know that they existed before. I just started recently having a new appreciation for Queen in the last couple of years. But that voice, Freddie Mercury's voice, it's amazing. It's like unparalleled, practically, in my opinion. But Mandy says, for me, it's Queen, followed by the Eagles. Dennis says Kiss and Ronnie James Dio. But with so many, it is hard to say. Kelly says, I don't know. I think maybe Green Day? John, I think it's being funny when he says the Partridge Family or the Osmond Family. I'm going to throw in some Barry Manilow there, too. Rose says Phil Collins. Joe says Led Zeppelin. Larissa says the Eagles. Tracy says the Goos, of course, the Goo Goo Dolls. Gigi says, I love Elton John, but Queen, a close second. Beverly says the Eagles, and following up about 25 others. Another for the Eagles. I just wasn't a huge Eagles fan. I enjoy their music, but I certainly didn't even buy one of their albums, I don't believe. Again, another band that I probably appreciate more now that I'm older. I was into a different type of music, clearly with my choices. Marcy says the Beatles. Good one. Adele says it's really hard to choose. I will have to say Elton John with Simon and Garfunkel right there behind, as well as a host of others, including Eric Clapton, Billy Joel, 38 Special, Styx, James Taylor, John Denver. You don't hear John Denver too often. Good for you. And so on and so on. And Lisa says New Kids on the Block. Yeah, they were a little after my time, New Kids, the boy band. I was a little too old for boy bands. I think they came out in my early 20s. maybe right around 20. I'm not sure. But, yeah, I was kind of over the boy band thing. And, I had my own boy bands. We just called them hair bands. But, yeah, Bon Jovi, that was my boy band. Journey even, my boy band. So on to the blog post for today, for a Cocktail Friday. We're continuing our discussion on the toxicity of social media, and I wanted to talk about the person who lurks in the background and then pounces in a way that you aren't really sure what even happened. You've likely had this person pop up on your post from time to time. It seems like an innocent comment, yet at the same time you get this nagging feeling that there's more to it. And if you're getting that feeling, there likely is. I remember posting a picture one time on my feed of people rollerblading down the main artery onto LBI on the Friday of July 4th weekend. I put a comment like, traffic isn't bad enough, now we have to weave around these guys. Well, a friend, quotes, of mine had tagged someone else in my post and said, remember when you did this for charity? She didn't talk directly to me in any way on my post. However, I took it as her saying it could be for charity and maybe give them a break. Well, I would have rather her just been straightforward and say, hey, could be a charity run. But she did it in a way that made me feel selfish and belittled. I'm no longer friends with this person, and this is just one example of what I have been able to rid my life of since that friendship ended. Have you ever had something like that happen to you? A comment from someone that's just kind of a subtle dig. Maybe you've posted a picture of yourself and someone is making negative comments about things in the background or focusing on something negative that is not the point of the picture or post. Yeah, these are the passive-aggressive Pete's. Yes, I'm going to start giving these descriptions male names instead of females. Negative Nelly, Debbie Downer, passive-aggressive Pete. That's right. And they are so good at hitting you hard without you even realizing what happened. You know you were distant some way, but you just aren't quite sure how. These people are not your friends. My advice is to rid them. Rid them from your feed altogether. Either hide them or defriend them. If this is someone you consider to be a friend, then ask them, what the heck are you talking about? What do you mean? Tell them you felt like they were judging you in some way, and if they don't appear sorry, then it was likely intentional, and you may want to rethink such a friend. Again, we want our social media to work for us, not against us. This is something we have absolute control over. You can hide certain people from seeing your feed, even if you are uncomfortable with banning them altogether. But remember that you are in charge here, and you don't owe an explanation to anyone. You do what is good for you, and if someone is making you feel bad for any reason, remove them. It's that simple. I don't know about you, and I take these things a little too seriously. I will start with saying that. But I would spend hours literally trying to decipher exactly what a certain comment meant and why they were even saying it the way that they were. I'm not saying that I would spend 3 hours straight thinking about it, but, through on and off throughout the day, like, what did they mean by that? What did they mean? You know what, people? Life is too short. Stop the nonsense. Just remove the source and get back to enjoying social media. Post what you want without fear of backlash, depending on what you post. Of course, if you're going to post political stuff, you're opening yourself up. Now, there is so much that we do not have control over in our lives, but we have complete and total control over who we let onto our social media feeds. Did you know that you can even hide particular posts from specific people? You have all the control here. Do not put yourself in a position to let these passive-aggressive Pete's bring you down. Fill your feed with positivity and follow people who will inspire you. Oh, it is Cocktail Friday, you all. It is Cocktail Friday. What do you have planned for the weekend? I hope it is fantastic and be safe in whatever you do. Go out and be the badass I know you are. I'm cheering you on.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
No more passive-aggressive Pete's.